A Sauna Talk from the British Sauna Summit, Tuesday, 20 May 2025, at the Hilton in London at Canary Wharf. Last year, Sauna Summit 2024 and 1.0, about 120 of us gathered rooftop in Hackney in London. The spirit was both well organized, like a conference, and yet intimate, like a family gathering. And this year, as attendance swelled to well north of 300 attendees, the Hilton Hotel Ballroom provided a backdrop and familiarity of a proper, to use the British word, organized meeting. This is the evolution of sauna. What started as a somewhat jest and jovial organization, like the growth of many things sauna, the British Sauna Society has ballooned into a structured membership of several hundred, representing the saunapreneurs of public saunas that dot the map of the UK's shoreline, streams, and urban communities. Yours truly was given the honor of announcing the winners of the second annual Sauna Summit Awards, which showcases outstanding saunas, best urban, best community, best new, etc. All of the contest participants are winners, and though there is surely pride and competition behind the curtain, yet what is displayed in the UK sauna scene is more collaboration and support. The Brits seem to recognize that the rising sauna tide lifts all public sauna boats. I am reminded of my time living in London. It was decades ago, and I had the dream job of music listings editor at Time Out magazine, where I'd have one-on-one relationship with the music venues back in the day, Dingwalls, Brixton Academy, etc. And what stood out was the pricing structure of concert tickets. General admission at the top, then the list of discounted tickets: senior, student, unemployed, single parent, council estate resident, library card holder, etc. It's ingrained in the British culture to proudly support those underserved. And sauna culture today shares that community support ethos. America may face headwinds in this regard, being more capitalistic-centric, yet Britain waves the flag of serving their community, as evidenced by the hundreds of saunas dotting the shoreline and beyond. Anyhow, in this episode, we get to hear one-on-one conversation with folks from Harvia, Jake Newport from Finnmark, Kindred Spirit author Lassie Liikinen, Key Summit organizer Mark Lamb, his wife and author Emma O'Kelly, Sauna from Finland Karita, Rob DeBank, and other folks behind the scenes and between the action. So without further ado, please welcome to this episode from London, UK, Sauna Talk. This show is brought to you by Homecraft, makers of electric sauna heaters. Homecraft is based in BC, Canada, and they have been making heaters since 1982. Multi-generational, two brothers running the show. Their father, Stu, has sold more saunas than most people have taken saunas, actually, you could say. So what it is about Homecraft, micro-marketed. These guys are not into the fancy, slick, Instagrammy stuff. They just make great products. They're honest, hardworking. You call them up, they answer the phone, and chances are your heater will be made within 20 steps of the person answering the call. I really like their lineup. You have a classic series, the H series, wall mount. You have the Revive in 6, 7.5, 9 kilowatt. And then the Slim, the 4, 5, and 6 kilowatt. Great for indoor, smaller saunas. They have a commercial series, the new Apex line. Anybody experiencing the steam in the Apex at the West Coast Sauna Summit, wow, ask them about it. That comes in 10, 12, 15, 18 kilowatt. I think what's most remarkable about Homecraft is I think it's tomorrow's technology today. Protected elements. When you throw water, no water hits the elements. Just rocks. Clean steam. This is akin to wood-fired sauna. I love it. I think it's the future, and you can get it now. When you call them up there, mention Sauna Times, or even easier, go to saunatimes.com. You'll see the full lineup. Click one, buy now. Enjoy. the British Sauna Summit 2.0. This is the second one, and I'm here with...
Freddie Adam, Albany Sauna.
Yes, and Freddie, you have another Venn diagram that overlaps only slightly. Tell us where you were the last couple of weeks and the study work.
Yeah, so I've got a project in the Venice Biennale Architecture this year, which just opened 2 weeks ago, and curated by Carlo Ratti, and it's quite exciting actually. It was an open call.
Tell us who she is again.
He's originally from Turin.
Right.
But based at MIT. And here we go.
We're going to have to hear
Getting
this
ready.
song again. Have you heard this song before?
Is this a Eurovision thing?
Oh God, isn't it? So what is is there an overlap to your study with, plant intelligence and sauna? And if there is, what would be the commonality?
Yeah, well, in a broad brush way, definitely in terms of human condition, experience, empathy, and my project's on plant intelligence. So anything we can learn about climate change and how to combat it, how to adapt to it. Sauna, same thing. We're very sensitive to our own conditions and looking after ourselves and the planet.
Yeah, thank you, Freddie. That's great. Albany Sauna. How far from San Francisco?
We're just across the bay, so next to Berkeley.
And how long have you been working in this space?
Well, my parents bought it in 1977, and it was built by a Finn in 1934.
So you grew up in it.
We're one of the original public saunas in the U.S. that are still going.
Yeah. Right, exactly. Yeah, the early birds. Yeah. Well, this is great. It's wonderful that we're here. I know. This is so great we're here for this.
We were at the bathing culture in New York together.
That's right.
And then we met last year only for the first time at the British Sauna Summit.
And here we are again. And you came right from Italy for this.
Yes, I did.
That's so cool. Great. Well, welcome. So hi, what's your name and where are you from?
Hi, I'm Tanya, and I'm from Austria.
And how's sauna in Austria?
Sauna in Austria is kind of exciting. We have a lot of LED lights, we have some sort of special Aufgüsse, so this is something we really appreciate to do.
Fantastic. And David, tell us about your history with Harvia. How long you've been with Harvia?
29 years now.
And what do you think of the conference so far?
It's good. It's people are having fun with saunas. This is a good thing. It's fun.
Is this a new thing for the vibe, or has it always been fun?
I'd say that in UK the angle of fun is better than elsewhere.
What do you think about that?
I'm just saying, saunas have gone mainstream in the United Kingdom now. It used to be a niche industry, and now it's well known. It's everywhere in the media.
And tell us about it, who we're with and what's a typical day like for you. What's your name?
Yeah, my name's Adam. I'm from Aqualine Wellness, and we've been working with Harvia for 17 years.
Yep.
Typical day for me involves basically supplying heaters, saunas all over the United Kingdom now. Yeah.
So you wake up, turn on your computer, get your voicemail.
Yeah, organise the team, look at what jobs we've got in. Yeah, keep everything on an even keel.
Right on.
Yeah.
How often do you get on the sauna bench?
I try and get in to use a sauna on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
I use it as part of a recovery routine. It's something I've always done. Even prior to selling saunas and working with Harvey, I was using saunas.
Cool.
Yeah.
It makes it easier and more fun, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, well, welcome to the conference, and thanks for being a sponsor for this gig. Is this your first time? Were you here last year?
I wasn't here last year. This is the second year running now.
Right on. Good. Well, let's get some sauna action in.
Definitely, yeah.
You've been with the BBC for how long?
Well, I was on there for 12 years, so I was actually, weirdly, the guy who stood in for John Peel when John sadly died. So I had quite a up and down career at the BBC. Well, no, a very up career, but yeah, I was on Radio 1 for 12 years.
You filled some big shoes.
I tried to, but I didn't fill them. But
oh, come on!
I bumbled my way through.
And for listeners to Sauna Talk, who am I with, and where are we right now?
My DJ name or stage name is Rob DeBank, but I'm Robbie, and yeah, I'm a festival promoter and also a wellness guy and sauna aficionado more recently. And we're at the Sauna Summit in London town.
Fantastic, Rob. So let's draw a little parallel between organizing festivals, which obviously, you know, has a a monetary incentive. I mean, you weren't in this for the love of it as its only initiative. I'm sure that there's a P&L involved with organizing festivals that really had to basically run your ship for a little while, I'm guessing, right? There, like the money side was a reality to running festivals, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, we started running music festivals 22 years ago, and we had no idea what we were doing. We definitely weren't in it for the money. 20 years later, we started running saunas and contrast therapy kind of spa, like mobile spas, more than just a sauna on a beach. And again, we've gone into it with absolutely no expectation of ever making any money from it. I'm not even sure if we break even. I am not the accountant in our company, so we do it for the love, for the community, and for looking after ourselves as well.
Right on, brother. That's cool. Can you see any parallels to the burgeoning growth of sauna in Britain and the explosion of that, and where the festival world was back then? Like, is there a parallel that you're seeing?
Oh, totally, yeah. You know, when we started running music festivals, we were tapping into that primeval urge to get together and dance semi-naked in a field with some cider and listen to music and get together. And, you know, sauna, it has got that same magical spirit where people connect. It's healthier probably than being at a festival, but it's got that same thing of sitting around the fire. You know, for me, sitting around the fire is a very important part of my life. It could be in a meditation group, it could be at a music festival, and handily enough, sauna has a fire in it, so it's built for me.
Yeah. How about the business side of it? As you were organizing festivals early on, there probably wasn't. I'm guessing, was it decentralized? Was it pretty grassroots in the early days?
Yeah, very grassroots. There were some big festivals like Reading and Glastonbury, and then we sort of spearheaded the growth of boutique festivals in the UK, of which there are now, you know, over 1,000. So it's a huge industry now, and I say industry in a slightly pejorative way because it's become, you know, an industry rather than a community. And I'm not down on the festivals at all, because that's still my day job. I love running our festivals. We run family festivals now, and it's the most rewarding thing I do. But, you know, sauna is a close second, and becoming.
Are you seeing a parallel to where the festival ecosystem was as recently as 10 years ago to where sauna ecosystem is today?
I think, you know, with my cynical hat on, then there is a gold rush happening, and so you can see the popping up of the big guys and the money guys coming in and going, oh yeah, we can definitely rinse this one out, which is exactly what happened in festival land. And I think that will happen for a while. I think there'll be a 2 or 3 year explosion of that, and then people are going to drop away and go, actually, yeah, it's not for us. And the real good ones, all the people here today, will be left. So
right on, man. Well said. I love that. You're seeing the parallel. That's why I wanted to visit with you mainly. I think you come at this space from a very interesting perspective.
Because I'm an old bastard and I've been through it once already.
Right on. You and me both, man. That's great. So tell us about your sauna routine. What do you like with sauna personally, on a personal level?
Yeah, I mean, we're lucky enough at the moment. We've got 2 or 3 saunas on our driveway at our home because we run, you know, numerous mobile units, and so every day there's a different sauna unit on our driveway that we've borrowed or off one of these guys. And so, yeah, I mean, you know, I'll jump in anything. I'm not a hardcore kind of 90-degree half an hour in one go guy at all. I love cold water. I like cold water swimming. That's kind of how I got into it.
Yeah.
So I like the heat, but I'm not a heat crazy guy. So yeah, you know, it's how the Finnish lady was talking today about, you know, staying there until you feel comfortable, and that's very much our ethos with Slow-Mo, which is our company. You know, it's about slowing down, it's about just embracing how you feel, go with the flow. Sometimes I'll only stay in for 5 minutes, and that's absolutely fine for me. You know, sometimes I'll do, you know, half an hour on and off with some cold dips, but and our kids do it, and that's the most mad thing. Is 2 years ago it's only 2 years ago I bought our first sauna, and I thought the kids are never going to do this. Within 24 hours they were all in there, even our 8-year-old, just loving it. And my 13-year-old turned around to me and said, "Dad, what I love about this is I don't have to think." And it made me well up. Make me well up now, because he's like an overthinker, and he just loved the fact that he couldn't have his phone in there. No one could get to him, ask him anything. Yeah. He was just in there in his own space.
Love that, Rob. You know, it's when we see the world through our children's eyes or from young people's eyes, it really, takes the blinders off. We're complicated beings as humans, but through the eyes of youth, sometimes they know how to say things a little bit more poignantly,
Oh, it's still the best quote that I ever heard about sauna, and I think in the UK, as you know, we're very slow in getting into this game, and we're getting there. But I think you're seeing more children, more younger people accessing the sauna is really encouraging. Fabulous. I think we're all a bit like, oh God, they're going to make a noise in there, or they're going to disturb other people, and we're very British about it, and we just need to drop that and just embrace it. It's like you see kids on the beach having fun. That's what it should be like. It should be just like the whole family's there, just having a fun time like they are in Finland.
Well said. Thanks, brother. Last question for you, Rob. Tell us about Slow-Mo, the company, how many people, what you're doing for listeners. Tell us a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, Slow-Mo is still pretty young. It's me and my wife Josie. We've been together since we were 18. We started the festivals together. We started a record label together. We've done everything together. We've been meditation teachers and yoga teachers for 20 odd years. So it's not like we're new in wellness or well-being. We're long in that, but in the sauna, contrast therapy. But our little tagline is next generation well-being. So we are contrast therapy, but we're also meditation. We're also shamanic kundalini. We're breathwork. We're sound healing. We're floating sound baths. We are CBD drinks. We're medicinal mushrooms. We're adaptogenic teas. We like to we like to kind of throw ourselves into something. So
you do. You have a lot of tentacles in the wellness space.
Yeah. I mean, we're not trying to do everything and take over from a financial or business side, but we just love the whole aspect of everything. And I suppose we kind of live that lifestyle. So we wake up, we get in one of our ice baths, we get in our sauna, we have one of our teas, later on we might have one of our drinks. It's not like this marketing spiel, but it's how we live. So
you're living it. Yeah, brother, that's great.
Living the dream.
I could talk with you all day, but
there's some more interesting people over there.
No man, you're one of the top. I'm so glad we got to have this moment.
No, well, thank you for everything you do.
Right on,
we love your podcast, we love your website, your newsletters, keeping us up to date on what's going on in sauna land. So
thanks, man. Thanks. Glad we had the time. This show is brought to you by the Sauna Times Public Sauna Map. The Public Sauna Map is free for you to use and click around, and hopefully give us a suggestion as you click around. If you know of a really great public sauna that is not on the map, drop us a line right there on the website. You can share your favorite public sauna and we'll get it added in. Really awesome for me to travel around and use the map to know where to go when I'm ready for some good sauna action. So to get to the Public Sauna Map, just go to saunatimes.com and right up at the top, Sauna Map. See you at one of these, hopefully down the road. So we're here at the British Sauna Summit, and you don't have to look too far to see the Finmark logo. You are a key sponsor of this event, and I'm with Jake. Do you go by president, CEO, or?
No, I go by CEO now, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I used to be managing director. That was my big thing, and now I have a great board of directors. So now, I'm just corralling really good leaders in our space. So yeah.
So this is the second British Sauna Summit, and Would you say that Finnmark is a key sponsor?
Yeah, that's completely right. So firstly, thanks and sorry to any of your listeners who are probably sick of, I keep turning up at these amazing events where Glenn's at, and you listen to me on the bench in different parts of the world. So we're here in Canary Wharf, which we have the Arc sauna, which currently is the UK's largest sauna, although that will probably be beaten at some point. And we're just at a hotel close by at this kind of conference venue. And second UK Sauna Summit running, more than double the number of people in attendance than last year. And we made the decision early on, in fact, less than a week after the last one, I said to Mark, the organizer, I was like, we got to go all in. We got to push this to the next level, and Finnmark's there to support you do it. So
when you say go all in, tell us behind the curtain about your commitment. Mm-hmm. Who's down here? What did it take? And beyond the sponsorship costs, which I won't put you on the spot, what are the additional out-of-pocket expenses to get your people? And give us a little flavor of that.
So we have 12 of the team here for this event, and obviously each one of those needs hotel accommodation. And for those who don't know, UK Sauna Summit this year has been twinned with the Aufguss Championships, which we also sponsor. So we've had 12 people for 3 or 4 days in London, which London is not a cheap city to be based. So travel, subsistence, accommodation. Everywhere you look around here, you'll see banners and things like that, which have our logo on as well. So there's, of course, design and setup costs. And then we've brought all of our key suppliers who were keen to participate to have tabletop stands to show their own products. We realized we couldn't bring every single product in our portfolio to curate. And we went back to our suppliers and said, do you want to be involved in this? And they've very kindly put their hands in their pockets to buy stand space, to bring their own equipment, materials, fly out here as well. So all of this, we've raised a ton of cash for the UK Sauna Summit. And I worked out that, the sponsorship and support that both we and our tabletop stand holders have provided have saved hundreds of pounds off the cost of tickets for the customers here. So they still have to buy tickets to participate, and tickets aren't cheap for this event, despite the fact that they sold out. But it's subsidised to the level of hundreds of pounds for all of the sponsors and vendors that have come along.
So Jake, as the founder of Finnmark, with your brother Max, what does it mean to be digging into your pockets, your company's pockets, to such extent to support the British Sauna Society? I mean, how do you keep doing that? How do you financially keep doing that? And where will it keep going?
Yeah. Well, I'm a firm believer in any space that you exist in, anything you do, you have to come with the mindset of giving back first. And a lot of people, when they set up businesses or they try and do things, they're all about take. They're like, how do I make some money? How do I get something? Who do I need to speak to? Who do I need to network with to get something? The best way to succeed, give first. We've talked before about these YouTube channels where people will wash your driveway for free, or the idea of giving first and giving being at the principle of what you do. Like, ultimately, Max and I love sauna. We love the sauna people and the community that comes with this amazing experience. And so, first and foremost, supporting that and the growth of that and bringing those people together, it has to be a huge part of what we do. So we bake that into, our overhead, our considerations of like, well, what are we doing next year? Well, we know we're going to have to put our hand in our pocket even deeper, because these events never get cheaper, right? We're committed and we support that, and we see the benefit. Some of the things like UK Aufguss, not to blow our own trumpets too much, but it simply wouldn't exist if we, the level of financial commitment that they need to build this out wouldn't be happening if they didn't have the level of sponsorship that they do. And the reason why so many of our projects now are these, or many of our project inquiries are these bigger commercial Aufguss facilities, is because people have seen the success of the ones that we have in the UK and want to replicate or riff on that concept. but they wouldn't exist if we hadn't introduced the world to this idea that there is this Aufguss experience, for
Fantastic.
example.
You know, it's getting so noisy in here, so forgive us, listeners to Sauna Talk, for the noise
To
in
give
here.
you some context, though, there's 320 people at this conference venue.
And they're all looking, and this is very British. We're having these little sandwiches with one slice of ham in them and one slice of cheese. I'm very reminded of my time living in London. And I have no dressing on my salad,
Of course.
but I'm not going to complain. In closure, I'm thinking of this metaphor. I'm thinking about sauna as very fertile ground, right? Like, and this is growing. But you know, without the water, without your investment, your company's investment, I don't think the soil would be producing this kind of plant life.
I think it's important to, what you're saying is true, and I think there has to be people in this space who are willing to make those financial commitments. But I also have to, give a serious shout out to all the people who give up an insane amount of time to make these things happen. So to give you some context, like behind the scenes of the UK Sauna Summit and the Aufguss Championship, there's tens of people, like not just one or two guys, not just the people that we know who organize it, but there are people managing the ticket desks, there are people coordinating stuff, setting stuff up, the marketing, videographers. The amount of people who give up their free time to make these things happen is huge. And those guys are unsung heroes, because we get credit, we get recognition, we get our logo everywhere, but actually, donate, if we sponsor and donate to things like this, but there's no volunteers and support, then this thing doesn't happen. So it needs both.
It does need both. Well said, Jake. Thanks for being a part.
Thank you so much. This is a trip down memory lane as well for you, isn't it?
Well, it is in a lot of ways. Thanks for bringing that up. I mean, I lived in London in the 1980s, and I got some free time yesterday, which I didn't have at last year's summit, to go down memory lane. And Jake texted me and said, hey, how's it feel like to go down memory lane? And I'm telling you, it was a hugely emotional day for me, for a good part of yesterday before I hit the sauna bench, to go back to some of my old haunts. The guiding hand of life. Like sauna came to me actually indirectly through my time studying in London, because I caught the Euro bug and ended up in the Nordic countries and got exposed to sauna in the 1980s. So I don't know if I hadn't studied in London, if I'd be sitting here today with you. The guiding hand is hard to recognize.
Fate works in mysterious ways.
Yeah.
Well, last night you probably already spoken about this, but you had an unusual experience, right? You tried the Schmeissing tradition at New Dockland and Steam.
Right.
How did you find that?
Well, I found it exactly how you described, Jake. so you kind of took the surprise out of me, because Jake primed me. He said, hey, you're going to go down this really seedy road with like old industrial car part, factories and this and that. And we stumble on this old school place that has changed hands a couple of times. Very, roots, a lot of patina in that facility, with multiple hot rooms, a lot of steam. In this Schmeitzing I've experienced before, it's a Jewish banya tradition with a lot. You soak yourself, you get soaked from head to toe.
Totally lathered up with soap and slapped with this, I guess it's like a coconut hair or some kind of loofah style thing. Yeah, really.
Yeah. Did it get in your eyes?
Oh man, it gets everywhere.
It gets everywhere. I know. Yeah, I didn't take a shower when I got home because I was so soaked up. And that's the thing I was telling Jake. It's like, it's not typically my style. My style is no products from Walgreens. So I'm not used to soaps with sauna. But hey, that's what we love about this. It's this whole rainbow.
It's not for everybody, and that's the great thing about this space. We're riffing on a concept and we're finding what feels good for us. So it's great.
So I'm sitting here after lunch with
Lassi Likkanen.
And Lassi, home for you is?
Sorry, what did you say?
Where is home for you?
Where is home? My home is normally in Helsinki in Finland.
Great. And you got into London a couple days ago?
Yeah, I arrived on Sunday here for, so I had like 2 reasons being here in this very noisy environment that we're at.
Yeah. Sorry for listeners, but Lassi and I are just so comfortable sitting on the couch after after lunch, and Lassie had a presentation a little bit ago, and you brought up something that really kind of struck a chord with me. I'd like to have you expand a little bit upon is these Instagram saunas from a design standpoint.
Yeah, so I think what I've seen, and I think this is actually a kind of a challenge that might even originate from Finland, so that what you tend to see photos going around the internet about like attractive saunas, what I call the Instagram saunas, are something that looks extremely nice in photos, but might turn out to be quite impractical to use, or even quite uncomfortable, or definitely not kind of good piece of sauna design in any other manner.
Right on, and also difficult to maintain.
Yeah, that's one of the and this is something that's been going on in Finland for about most of this millennium actually. So that, for instance, we've had huge popularity for small, integrated saunas in new houses, which have this two opposing benches and a platform in between, and in many cases, the platform has been constructed so that no one actually can get below the platform.
To clean it.
Yeah, so you have to be really kind of sauna golem in order to kind of get down there.
Yeah.
And sometimes you might actually have to kind of disassemble part of the benches in order to access the space. Mm-hmm. And if you have a drain over there, the drain has to be cleaned, preferably once or twice a year. And with no access, you eventually get some kind of smelly problems.
Yeah, no, well stated.
That's only the possibility to clean it properly is only one of the problems. Then we might also see that, for instance, you might have huge glass windows for a small sauna cabin on the backyard, and then that's kind of okay if you have a wood burning heater, which has quite a lot of extra capacity. But then if you go and try to heat this thing up with an electrical heater, you'll very soon run into problems because like here in the UK where we're at, or in the US, there's no very powerful electric heaters are very difficult to come by because of the different electrical systems. So many people have been sorely disappointed when I've been informing them that it would be nice to have this huge glass thing, but then again it would be kind of impossible to get this thing running in particularly in 60 minutes. That's the North American standard.
Exactly. I call those Windex saunas.
Yeah.
We have a brand. You have the same brand of window cleaner.
Yes.
Windex. Yeah. I mean, you have to keep a bottle of that because when you throw water, some of it's going to. And then how do you clean behind where the heater is and stuff?
Yeah.
So we talk about that, but you're talking about the performance. The electric heater becomes a little engine that can't. It struggles because you're right. You have to heat the entire mass of the hot room. And if it's in winter and you're in the backyard.
Yeah, and if there's like a heavy wind coming from your lakeside, it might turn out to be totally impossible to get the sauna into a real operating temperature in a reasonable time.
I get it. Yeah, and then you feel like a wet noodle sitting on the sauna bench when you throw water.
I mean, you might be able to get some kind of a good lulu out of because the heater is damn hot.
Yeah.
It's definitely like going as much as all the power it has, but it just hasn't got the power in order to heat up the room.
Yeah, and part of the presentation earlier, we talked a lot about lolu and the idea of good lolu will hit and stay and not fall off, right?
Well, it should fall off to some extent, but I mean it'll probably never kind of. It's also kind of preferable that it doesn't kind of just kill or smack you in your face only.
Yeah, right.
So I think the most Finnish people will appreciate this type of more almost near full body experience with lolu as well. Right. But it's much more kind of difficult to achieve.
Yeah. Sorry for the background noise. There's a lot of enthusiasm here at the British Sauna Summit. It's a cool vibe. A lot of people are very enthusiastic. Are you feeling it, Lassie?
Yeah. It's definitely. I think it's a very kind of a very similar thing I observed. I was in Norway for the Norwegian Sauna Society's annual summit in February, and it's very kind of inspiring to see so many people who are so naturally excited and still kind of new to the whole scene, kind of trying to soak everything up, but that they can learn about sauna.
Yeah, great. And I have to compliment you Finns. A lot of you Finns are very open about this. I mean, it's a very special thing that you do, and it's a very special word. There's a lot of spiritual connection in your culture, and yet I find many of the Finns to be quite open to the people discovering sauna and molding it for themselves in their own countries as well.
Yeah, that's definitely happening here. It's happening in Norway. It's happening in Japan.
Yeah.
So that it's kind of a long process of kind of rediscovery and redefinition of what it means. And I think same thing goes for US. I mean, you know that there's this like a upper peninsula has its own like very long-standing sauna culture in the US, but otherwise. It's more like an exploration that what sort of saunas will people have in California or in Florida or wherever.
Yeah. And last question for you. How do you as a Finn and as a proponent of Finnish sauna balance some of these principles that you're so dedicated to help share with the idea of the openness and letting other countries define sauna for themselves? How do you personally balance that?
I think for me, like I'm here holding like an advanced copy of my upcoming book, The Finnish Sauna. In that book, I've been kind of trying to go a little bit deeper into the definition of the Finnish sauna and understanding what are, for instance, the values underneath the Finnish sauna. And I think, like, if we think about the Finnish sauna as the kind of source of well-being for the Finnish people over like hundreds and hundreds of years, I think it's kind of the most important like thing that we when we think about cultural adaptations is that I hope that wherever the sauna goes, it will kind of remain inclusive. It will remain a source of comfort, well-being. So if it kind of, for instance, I still, for instance, many people in Finland are against the Aufguss development, but I personally kind of are much willing to accept that people can use the sauna for Aufguss, as long as they can also get the other kind of benefits. So it's not only a theater arena.
Yeah. Nice, well said. Lassie, so great to sit with you.
Yeah,
we could talk all day, but we'll keep it moving, and we'll hopefully get back with Lassie another time. Those listeners of Sauna Talk can search for Lassie Liikinen, and he's been a guest on Sauna Talk. You can get into more depth with Lassie and his great work. So thank you, brother. Kindred spirit. So who am I with?
We're with William from Hikitalo Sauna in South Wales.
South Wales. How did you get here to London?
I took a train. It took me 2.5 hours.
Cool. And your sauna journey goes back to Germany.
It does, yeah.
Tell us about that.
Well, I was living in Munich at the time, and when I say at the time, this is a year ago, and I love German sauna culture. But I saw this gap in the market where I thought maybe a social sauna, maybe more Finnish style, would kind of like fit in the market there.
Whereabouts?
In Munich, yeah.
Right in Munich.
So I was just looking for a spot, and I was working hard on it out there, and that's how I connected with yourself.
Do you think any of the headwinds that you had to do with the fact that you weren't German, or do you think a lot of the headwinds just had to do with German rules and things?
I think it was a mixture. So I'm half Dutch, so I speak a little bit of German, but not enough to break the business barriers, I think. So that played a part, but I also think there's a lot of bureaucracy around German sauna culture. Yeah. And, I think they're very protective of that, and rightly so. And that made it a little bit more tricky, I think.
But the universe had other plans for you.
It did. It brought me exactly where I think now, where I was meant to be, and that's the green grass of home that we spoke about in Wales. So since then, I've opened up my sauna seaside at a beach that's 20 minutes from my hometown, so in Porthcawl.
Well,
so,
you're looking great.
Thank you, man.
I know the journey's never a straight line, but you had a couple of potholes in your route to getting your sauna activated and mobilized. But how's it going for you today?
It's going really well. We've built an amazing community around it. We've got 6 staff. I can see the impact that we're having. Do you know what I mean? And I just really think that our sauna's become a magical place. I'm so proud of not just the physical space itself, but the community that's building around it and the impact that we're having. So and we're just about to open up our second one, which is arriving 4 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. So
no way.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Oh, that's insane.
So
tell us about the second one.
Well, it was made here in the UK, like our first one as well. It's going to be a 12-seater. We've chosen for a thermo aspen on the outside, actually, and an alder on the inside. So it's looking incredible. It's going to be seaside again on a beach that's 3 kilometres away.
Cool.
And this was going to have a little office in there for us as well, like a seating area for the staff.
Nice.
So that we're
out of the wind and the rain.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
This is your first British Sauna Summit.
It is, and it's incredible. You know what I mean? It's I'm leaving today feeling very grateful, but also incredibly inspired as well. Do you mean that my peers and it's been amazing, to be honest with you. And
so great, man.
I definitely want to say a big thank you to you as well, because I got in touch with you at a time where I was really struggling actually, and you gave me words of wisdom and encouragement that I needed at that time to give me the confidence to do it. So I'm forever grateful. No, I'm forever grateful.
My pleasure. It wasn't sauna wisdom specifically, was it?
It was life wisdom, I think. You know what I mean? This, you've got a lot more about. I don't mean this offensive, but you've got more life experience than I have, and I needed those little golden nuggets that you shared with me at the time. So no, I really appreciate it.
Cheers, brother.
No, thanks,
Thank you, William.
Give me a hug.
Right on. Big hug to you.
No, I really appreciate that. I mean that. You really caught me at a time. So yeah.
Well, we're all here to support each other, and I think that's part of the magic that I sense at this British Sauna event, is that there really is a community support. People going through the same journeys together.
Exactly, and we all feel each other's pain and joy, and in those two things we can learn so much from each other. Do you know what I mean?
All this stuff, yeah.
Who's that?
Mark.
Yeah. Who's that?
Who?
Who's Mark?
That? Who's Mark?
Yeah.
Well, am I allowed to say that Mark and I are married?
yeah, absolutely. And he was the driver for
the summit?
No, for the book, for the second book.
Well, in some places he was, but actually most of the time Maya Astikainen was the driver, because she has a van, and she has her tent sauna in the back of the van, and she goes everywhere.
That was your first book.
Oh, the first book.
Now,
sorry.
Yeah, no, this is cool. We're all over the place, but let's back up. Yeah, everything's cool. So I am standing here with
me, Emma O'Kelly.
And Emma, it's been a chaotic day.
It has been a chaotic year. Yeah. But a chaotic day.
Let's talk about the year, but in reverse order. You look great, by the way. You don't seem like you're stressed, but there was a lot of work put on this event, and you and Mark really spearheaded a lot of this 2.0, the British Sauna Summit 2.0.
Yes.
Things are going great, right? Any behind the curtain analysis at this late
Not yet,
part
but
of the
what
day?
we want to do with all our amazing volunteers who have been here since 7 o'clock this morning, like all of us, yesterday packing goodie bags, doing lanyards, name tags, all the kind of things you do behind the scenes at a conference, which some of us know about and some of us don't. But we will have a big debrief afterwards. But I think overall, it seems to be going really well.
Wonderful to hear.
Yeah.
And I want to speak about your second book, because we talked about this from Mark's perspective. But tell us, I think I know the origin story for your second book, and if you could tell listeners a little bit about that, where the idea came from, and then the work you did to bring it to publication.
Well, the idea was a no-brainer based on my first book, because when I did my first book, Sauna of the Power of Deep Heat, there were probably about 20 hot-spot saunas around the UK. But that book, in the course of writing that book, which was a year, I could see what was going on in the UK, that everything was popping really quickly.
What year? When are we talking?
We're talking 2022, 2023.
Yeah.
So 2022, there were about 20, I guess, that I knew of when I started writing my book. By the time it went to publication, there were loads more. And by the time I started this second book, Wild Sauna, in February 2024, there were 80 on my list. And by the time I published this book, or filed it in February this year, there were 189 in the book. And, all day today, I've met people who are setting up saunas or just about to or just have, and it's just keeping on growing.
Yeah.
It's a phenomenon. It's crazy.
Well, the whole community is certainly should be reaching out and giving you this great, pat on the back for this commitment you've made to have this resource for people, so they can find saunas when they travel and get into their own trips of sauna tourism, right?
Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. I mean, this book is a guide around the UK. So it's for people who might be keen and have a camper van and want to chuck the tent and the sauna book in the back and go exploring.
Love it.
And go all over.
So, Emma, tell us the inspiration for the book. There's a parallel book, in a way, You know which one I'm speaking about? The Wild
Swimming books. That was my publisher, Wild Things. They commissioned this book, and Wild Things published the first wild swimming book in the UK. And so once again, and that book captured a moment in time and the beginning of a movement that is now not a movement, it's a way of life. Wild swimming and cold swimming in the UK is everywhere. So many people do it. It's like yoga or something. And sauna, we predict, is going to become like that. It's going to become a lifestyle option, just built in, which is what we hope. But interestingly, when I started Wild Sauna, it was the swimmers who were the first into these pop-up saunas. In fact, these pop-up saunas came to exist to service the swimmers. So that's typically the starting point. You know, typically the middle-aged female swimmers, and then they'd be the first to go into these saunas, and then they'd bring their partners, and then, you know, the other friends, and then younger people, and then it just sort of, like communities do, it just sort of evolved naturally. Right. And then these little beach saunas have become community hubs with a big following.
So if I'm hearing you right, out of these 189 saunas, they're all vastly different, I understand. I can get a picture of that. But you've kind of mentioned a common thread. Cold swimming, middle-aged females, looking for a place, gravitating to the sauna as a place of warmth after their cold swims. This is a common journey of how many of these saunas in these different communities dotted along the shorelines have evolved.
That's right. Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
And you must know 1 million people now in this space.
I do. It's changed my life.
I
Writing
so.
these 2 sauna books has completely changed my life. You know, I'm totally embedded in this sauna world. And I was a cold swimmer anyway, so I was one of those women. But because I live in London, I'd go swimming on Hampstead Heath in the ponds, but obviously no sauna to warm me up afterwards. Yeah. And so, that I've been doing for about 8 years. So the sauna was a natural, to me it made total sense that these saunas would appear, because I'm kind of part of that world in a way, and being in nature, you know, I live in the city, so I'm always craving being out in the wilds, and I don't do it enough. But going to a wild beach sauna, for me, it's just paradise. It really is. And swimming in the sea.
Absolutely.
You know, it's
and so
a real luxury.
Do you and Mark take sauna escapes from London and go to the coast? Now that the book's over, have you done any?
Well, we might now that the book's over, but the book only really came out 2 weeks ago, so... And then we've been organising this. I would like to. I'm going to do some sauna tours, sauna book tour. I'm going to go back to Scotland in October because there's going to be a sauna festival on there. And then I'm going to go around and do some signings and try and visit people in a more relaxed way, because obviously that book was crazy busy.
I can understand.
Yeah.
As a fellow writer, what was a typical day like? Was this the deadline, having this book in print for the British Sauna Summit?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't actually. It was just a coincidence, because publishing a sauna book in May is not the right time to publish a sauna book.
Right. Well, I'm glad
we were sort of saying winter, September, or January, but obviously. We went to press late because we had so much more content than originally. You know, my editor asked for 100 saunas, and I gave him almost double that number, which meant we did run late to print. So,
what was a typical day like for you during the thick of your work? All day long, or were you doing this in spots and bits of time?
I pretty much didn't do any of my other journalism work because it was absolutely full-time. Yeah. But what was interesting for me is that I did all of it on Instagram. I barely sent emails. I DM'd, direct messaged everyone. All the sauna people operate on Instagram. So that was how we worked. And it was a new way of working for me, because I'm more old school, like email is always the way of doing things. Yes. And I had to call in. Originally, I was going to photograph the book, but that didn't go so well because I'm not a very good photographer. And every single sauna I visited last summer, it was pouring with rain and terrible weather.
Yes,
and I didn't have time to go back and reshoot. Yeah. And it just sort of like emphasised what British summers can be like, which is really atrocious.
Yeah. Yes.
So I had to call in all the photography as well, and the sauna owners were amazing. They provided all their work for free for the book, but it was a lot of work. I needed 8 of me, really.
Well, you can exhale now. On the bench.
Yeah,
you've reached a
exactly.
great milestone, and I think, again, the whole British sauna community, not a gratitude, and especially as much within your country, but people visiting Britain now have this wonderful resource.
Well, it wouldn't be possible without all the sauna owners and all the people in there. There would be no book without all of them. So I thank them as well.
Sweet.
It was total two-way collaboration.
That's so
but
cool.
Collaboration is the way forward, isn't it?
Isn't it? It really is. And, with you and Mark, you guys have a different perspective. I mean, Mark said this, this is not his vocation to be donating a lot of his effort toward, the advancement of the sauna culture in Britain. But you're a team. You're a 1-2 punch.
Well, we've got complementary but different skills, I'd say. He's a publisher and I'm a journalist. So, traditionally they've always gone together, haven't they?
Yeah.
But,
well, it's nice to have a partner, someone who can drive, someone who can navigate.
Yeah, we've got different skill sets, and so that's good, I guess. Obviously working together is challenging sometimes.
No question. Emma O'Kelly, thank you for being with us. And how can people find the book?
The book is available on Amazon and at Waterstones, mainly, in the UK.
Wild Sauna.
Thank you. Yes.
Cheers.
Thanks, Glenn.
Cheers to you.
Thank you.